Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Monique and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come, and I want to do that through consistency and discipline. Today I am here to close out my sinking funds for the month of October, look at my debt for the month of October, overall debt for the month of October, as well as I am documenting my quarterly review as far as my variable expenses are concerned to make sure that at the end of a 3-month cycle that the numbers that I'm allowing myself as far as the variable expenses, I'm really hitting those overall totals. So a lot to cover today. I'll go ahead and get started. First, of course, I want to thank everybody who's liked or commented, and especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I truly did start this page and will continue to use this page as a way to hold myself accountable. But I do understand, recognize, and appreciate the community at large. We all have the same goal of some type of financial health or financial freedom. We just got different paths on how to get there. So I appreciate anybody who's decided to take this journey with me. So one of the things that I do want to, and y'all, I am both a paper and a digital planner, as you can see. I just want to cover real quick my October no spend. So I try to get to 10 days, no spend days. And these are all the exemptions that I have. So anything for my business, anything that's medical, any bills, and any time I use my sinking funds, those are not included. Everything else is. So with that, I was able to get 7 no spend days. So I did not quite make it to 10, but that is still the goal. So I'm starting over again in November. And I actually had a no spend day yesterday, which is really good for me because it was actually the day I received my paycheck. So usually the day you get paid, I don't know about anybody else, maybe it's just me, but I usually go out to eat, or we might go to the movies or something. You want to do something when you get paid, especially because that week prior to getting paid is usually pretty tight. But I did not do that. I actually cooked for us. We stayed home, myself and my girls, and we watched some TV shows and just had a good time. So yay for me. So I'm already one in as far as my no spend days for November. And I am currently, so I think she will recognize this when she sees this, but Serenity Planning uses Lux Books planners. And I finally decided to go ahead and move forward with getting the Hello Gorgeous, I think volume 2 that they have. I was planning on waiting until the end of the year to get a planner, but I did recognize that there is a way of adding your own categories in here. So I actually created a separate tab for my 2023 so that I can do that, and then I'll start out fresh with the way that the young lady at Lux Book Planners has the calendar set out for January to December. So I was trying to hold off and not do it, but I do realize between this and some things that I need to do for my business, as well as I'm helping my friend with his content creation, and I want to step up my game on that too, that I do need a way of organizing everything. So I say that to say I actually created a financials section within that planner now, instead of having a separate piece for that. So I have tried to consolidate it a little bit. So I am going to scroll a little bit in here, and you guys just bear with me. I'm still getting used to this planner and how I have things situated and seeing what I need to do for that. So let's first we will go to the quarterly budget review worksheet. So this is a worksheet that I created, and it is a way for me to track all of my variable expenses. At least right now, I do have another section here if there's some other expenses that I want to track in the same way as well. I do have that spot available, but specifically for the variable expenses, and then I want to track it. And there are some changes that I've made here from the last time that you guys might have seen this. I just created a little side view for what my overall monthly total should be and where I'm trying to track to. And then I have my variable expense category. Then I have month 1, 2, and 3, the 3 different months that you're going to track. This is going to be a rolling budget review or worksheet, meaning after I get to the end of November, I'm going to figure out what my average is. And then the next month, I'm going to do it. And it'll have October, November, and December dates. and we'll see, or totals, and we'll see where I am as far as the average is concerned. So a rolling 3-month period to make sure I'm staying on track with how much monthly I want to spend as far as my variable expenses are concerned. So I look at this every week, but I did not have a monthly view, and I definitely did not have a quarterly review to make sure that I'm looking for any spending habits that I might have, negative or positive, that I want to hone in on. So there you go. So I tracked my September, and now that October is over, I was able to track October as well. So when you look at October, I'll scroll over a little bit. For groceries, I was at a total of $430. And I'd like to be around 480, so I did good on that. 178 for gas. I want to be around 160 a month, so not too bad. 133 for home, and I want to be at 120, so I'm over on that one too. And I did not highlight this in green or red like I do for some of my other things, because it's not about each individual category. For me, it's going to be that average overall that's going to be important. Dining, 241, way over my 200 that I typically like to have, but I did go back to see which weeks, that I specifically spent a lot. And it was the week that I traveled to South Carolina. So that, I think without that travel, I probably would have been more in line with the $200. Entertainment, I'm going to actually remove this one at some point because I don't spend in that anymore. I rolled that money into personal. So personal, I have 45. And I want to be at around $40. And actually, it's probably 80 now because it was $10 a week, and now it's going to be $20 a week. So let me make that change, because that's where I rolled the entertainment into. So entertainment now should be 0, and personal should be 80, $20 a week. So 45 was the is how much I spent, and 80 was the goal. Shopping, 59 I spent, 80 was the goal. Miscellaneous, 159 I spent, and 160 was a goal. So I'm tracking right on time for that. So if I look at those totals, 430 plus 178 plus 133, 241, 45, 59, and 159 equals 1,245. And I want to be around 1280. So I'm tracking pretty good as far as my overall totals are concerned. All right, so there's that. And then for my, excuse me, sinking funds. So here's how I'm tracking these, and I'm just doing the starting and the ending balance. And I got this idea from She Has Cash and Plans, I think is her YouTube channel. Definitely check her out as well. But for my expenses buffer, variable expenses buffer, I started at 55 and I went to 0. That is because I contributed a lot of my buffer and cushion that I had as far as my variable expenses were concerned towards my daughter and getting her set up for her homecoming dance that she went to. And with that said, now I am contributing a little bit more to her sinking funds to try and account for this. She's a junior now. Freshman and sophomore year, she wasn't concerned about extracurricular activities. Clearly that is going to change for her junior year, and I'm going to assume it's going to get even worse for her senior year. So there you go. I am going to start to contribute more to the sinking fund so that I won't have to worry about using up my cushion or my buffer. Emergency went from 545 to 645. Didn't have to spend anything out of that. Bills buffer was 369 and went down to 310. I've actually contributed to that, but I also spent some money, and I am tracking what I'm spending, if you guys were wondering. So I got this from the budget mom. She said, you should track your expenses even for your sinking funds so that you can see where your money is going. So although I pull from the sinking funds, which is great because I'm not having to cash flow it out of my paycheck and I'm not having to swipe a credit card, you still need to understand where your money is going. So I do track, if I see a big decrease in my sinking funds, where did that come from? And I can come over here and see what those amounts are. And for that one, it was my toilet had an issue, so I used my home warranty for that, and I had to pay $125. So I pulled some from that bills buffer to help offset those costs. All right. And then savings challenges, I am tracking those and where I am on those. So my paycheck date savings challenge went up. Glamopily went down. I took my son out for his birthday dinner celebration to his favorite restaurant. Scratch off, I saw an increase. Mini challenge, I saw my increase as well. As far as the actual sinking funds themselves, birthday fund went down. I've started to, it's not really just birthday, it probably should say gifts. And I've started to purchase gifts for Christmas already. And this column over here on the side are just where I would like to see my balances increase to, or what the goals are. So say for example, I get to gifts and I get to $500 for some reason and I have not spent the money. I don't see that happening anytime soon. But if that happens, then I would stop contributing to that and then reallocate that money to get my goals up for some of these others. Corinne, she was at 110 and now she's at 120. You might say, oh, okay, great. That's an increase. No, because I think I deposited 400, maybe even a little bit more. So all of that got spent in the month of October, which is quite a bit. Car maintenance went from 125 to 155. Xerxes went up as well. His sinking fund date night, I saw a decrease in that one, and I used some of that money to purchase some things for myself. I'm actually going to change the name of this, so I will do that for November. I'm going to change the name of this from date night to self-care, and actually I'm gonna go and actually get a pedi done as well and get something done to my feet today. This is my birthday month, so my birthday is in November, and so I'm gonna treat myself. This is gonna be my self-care month. I'm actually documenting that down as monthly goals for me, putting it on my vision board to make sure that I am treating myself right this month. I'm gonna do it without breaking the bank. I'm not going to swipe a card, but I still need to treat myself. Hence another reason why I went to using this type of planner now, so that I can just make sure that I stay on track and on goal and stay focused on that. So that's just a little plug around, I don't give financial advice, but if I can give some personal advice, treat yourself right. So deductibles, household next. I went up in household. Deductibles, I went down. We did get, we had eye appointments. So we got our glasses and some contacts. And so we're starting to build that back up again. Taxes went up. This is not taxes that I pay, it's tax prep, not that I owe any. Micah talked through this already, and he's been seeing a decrease in his amount, just because he's been asking for more money now that he is working a full-time job and he's having to drive quite far to get to his, well, it's about an hour away from his home. And so he is using a little bit more money. So I've got to figure out something to do there, because he's asking for more money. He is eating up my withdrawal limits, or the amount of withdrawals that I can make from Ally, which is where his money is located at. So I'm working through a plan for that. Property insurance went up, and I should be ready to pay that come the 1st of December. My public investment went up. I just contribute $20 to that. I haven't been able to put any more towards my Roth IRA. Sorry, there's a little hair. I'm sure that is from my eyebrow. I've been losing my eyebrows. Roth IRA, that I haven't been able to contribute anymore. So that's just the interest that's coming over in there. So that's my overview as far as my sinking funds and my update to close out the month of October for that. And then my credit worksheet. So here's where I've seen some improvement, not as much as I want, but I've got a little bit in there and I should be happy about that, right? So Best Buy, I'm going to keep it on there because that card is still open. I have not used it, no utilization, but I did move that amount over to my Discover card when they had a 0% offer on that one for a transfer. Rooms to Go, I made my payment. There is a 12 months 0% interest on that, and my monthly payment of $168 would allow me to meet that obligation and not have anything left over. So as long as I stay tracked to what they have as the minimum, this will be paid off in 12 months. But if you saw my debt repayment plan or another video that I created before, my hope is that come January, I'll have another 0% transfer offer from Discover, and I'm going to move that amount down to the Discover as well. But I need to wait until January because at that point, the numbers really make sense. So for right now, and I'm sorry, I came out and I probably should have stayed in. My apologies. But rooms to go, my balance is $15.11. I'm at 15% utilization with that payment of $168, and it's 0% transfer. 0% interest. Kohl's, $25.75 is my balance from $3,000, and so I'm down 1 percentage point to 86. I shouldn't have said percentage, but I'm down 1 point to 86% utilization. My payment is around $91 a month, and you'll notice there, yes, 30.7 is the interest rate. So these two, the Best Buy and the Kohl's, were extremely high. They were variable, interest rates, variable daily interest rates. So the Best Buy is gone and I need to work on the Kohl's, but I think I'm going to do rooms to go first. So the total that I owe now is $4,086 in the private label credit card category. So this sheet I got from Ask Me How I Budget. It was a free worksheet that she had. I actually think she's revamped it since then. But what she did that I really liked about it was that this credit worksheet is in 3 different categories: private label, general purpose, and installment debt. So private label are the ones that you have to use at that particular company. You can't use it anywhere else. General purpose are the ones that you can use anywhere as far as the credit is concerned. And then installment debt, this is debt that I have, but it's not revolving debt, meaning I can't add more to it. I just got to pay off what I owe. All right, so under general purpose, I've only got one card. That's Discover. 2103 is the balance, $7,000 limit. I'm down 1 point, so I'm at a 30% utilization, and that's usually where you want to be, no higher than 30%. I think they said 10% is excellent. 30% is about the average when you're looking at your credit. And I pay $200 a month for that. That's not the minimum amount, but that is my amount that I'm going to pay. And then 0% interest. And then I have a Credit One card. And I paid that off last year and I've not used it since then, but I've left it open just because it does help my credit overall. So my total for general purpose credit cards is $2,103. And then you have my installment debt down here. That's my mortgage, Green Sky for my AC unit, Bridgecrest, that's my car note, Nelnet, student loans 1 and 2, and then Sally Mae. I am almost ready to break up with her. Okay. And so my total as far as my installment debt is concerned is $155,622. So with the installment debt, once I pay off Kohl's and rooms to go, I'm going to come here and I'm going to start on Green Sky because Green Sky has the highest interest rate here as far as 9.99%. I'm not right now tackling the loan, although that probably would be the better one to tackle. But right now, I think I want to get rid of this Green Sky first, and then I'll move down to the student loan ones. Although at that 13.2% interest, what you'll see is, so for example, here, I'll kind of cover this really quick. So this is the new balance that I have, $86.71 for the first loan, $28.57 for the second. Well, in September, last month, it was $86.85. In September, I made a payment and it's $86.71. So literally $14 came off. I paid $86. But only 14 came off. And the same thing with the number 2. It was just dollars that came off. I don't even know if it was $10 that came off of that one either. So I know I need to tackle this one and get it done. But I've had the Green Sky one the longest, and I kind of want to get rid of that one first if I can. So the order of how we're going to tackle it is going to be rooms to go first, then Kohl's, then Green Sky, and then Nelnet. Sally Mae is going to naturally go away in the next few months if I continue to make $100 payments on that over the next 4 months. That one will be gone, and that's just going to be a standard part of my bills overall. So that one's going to naturally kind of take care of itself. All right, and so let me add up my totals for this one. So in September, you'll notice here, my total debt was $162,757. So I'm going to, let's pull this sticker up and make it a little bit bigger so we can write in what my total debt is now. So 4086 plus 2103 plus 155622 equals 161,811 is my new debt total. 161,811 compared to 162,757. So only about $1,000 off at this point. And I do need to get better at putting more money towards debt, and I think I will be able to do that at the beginning of the year. We'll see. But that's the work that I still need to do. So I think that is it. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.